Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to Dangle, Bet, Celly, powered by FTN. Chris Meaney and Eric Young here with you, breaking things down in the NHL. 10 games this evening, Thursday, October 21st. We're going to talk a little fantasy hockey. We got some shot props. We got some bets. Just a lot of hockey talk here for the next 45 minutes or so. EY, what's up, my friend?
It's rolling along, man. We're starting to pile up the wins. I shared my screenshots on Twitter of my bet with the Florida Panthers over Tampa and my dominance in DFS. I was 39th out of like 26,000. So it's I wish I would have bet more money on that one. So sometimes you get it right sometimes you get it right and you don't win a bunch, but you still win. That's what's important. We're trying to create a community here of people that are taking from these $1 million websites. So let's do it together.
Yeah, let's do it. We will talk some DFS throughout the show. I'm a bit of a cash game player. It's kind of boring. Nobody wants to hear about cash game plays, but when you join those tournaments like that, the payout is super huge. We've seen some green shots in our FTN daily Discord channel. If you're looking to be part of the FTN fam, the DFS package, ftndaily.com/pricing. You can use the promo code NHL. You're going to get a 20% discount. Also with the DFS packages, the season-long articles, waiver wire rankings. We'll talk some 4-game streams towards the end of this show, but every single weekend I will have a big breakdown of everything in the NHL. The injuries, the waiver wire pickups, the 4-game streams, teams playing 2 games, how to attack the schedule with those light nights, the Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and we'll dive into some back-to-backs and some goalie streams. All that will be over at ftnfantasy.com. Also, the betting package. It's now officially NBA season. Guys are crushing it over at ftnbets.com. So the betting package, the diamond package, because I've seen a lot of people reach out lately. They only want NHL picks, and I get it. I understand that. But I think we have a better package, more value, more bang for your buck over at ftnbets.com/pricing. The diamond package will get you all the NHL picks, NBA, NFL, MLB, tennis, you name it. It's all there available for you across every sport, every single pick, some betting tools, the Discord channel as well. Use that promo code NHL. You can just sign up if you want for the monthly package just to see what it's all about. We keep track of absolutely everything over at ftnbets.com. And if you like it, then you can re-up for the rest of the season. But ftnbets.com/pricing, promo code NHL. One more thing, EY, to get to off the top. Last week we said we were looking for people to rate, review, subscribe, leave us a comment. We appreciate that. And I've seen a few already. I haven't been able to reach back to you and thank you here. Thanking you right now, and I will individually thank everybody as well. But all the screenshots that we've have so far from you guys, we will put into a draw, and on Tuesday's show, we will draw a couple winners for betting packages. So there's still time. If you listen on Spotify, there's no real way, I don't think, to rate, review, subscribe, but maybe just screenshot, show us that you're following it. You're subscribed to our FTN YouTube page. If you're hanging out with us right now live, we appreciate you. Leave a comment there in the YouTube section. Always circle back if you're watching again, the replay here, whether it's on the YouTube page or ftnbets.com. There's an opportunity there just to screenshot, send a question, show us that you are subscribed here to either this show on your favorite podcast platform or on our YouTube page, or maybe you're just watching the replay on ftnbets.com. Screenshot that. Send it our way. You could also email it, meanstreetsftn@gmail.com, or at Chris Meaney. The DMs are open. So appreciate everybody who has given the support to the show. We wouldn't be here without you guys, and hopefully we can have a fun, successful season with you, because there's a lot of hockey. We're only a week in, Eric, and I don't know if you caught the top 10 drops that I had on Mean Streets. There are a lot of halves on that board, but there are a lot of just big-name players that people have already cut their ties with. But I think we have to preach patience from a season-long standpoint. There's a lot of hockey left.
Yeah, I mean, I said it in the first show. Is like, you don't do maybe as much work as me because I'm a crazy person, but you do all this work rating players and drafting and compiling your teams, and then you give up after they played 2 games. I can tell you it's DEFCON 4,000 here in Nashville. They lost 2 games. I was like, guys, the season, there's 80 more games. You mean like everyone just relax? You mean like, I don't think this team's going to be super competitive, but everyone just has to take a breath. You did the work. Hold on to these players. The players that you think are good or are good or have been good in the past, they will be good. Things will get right. It's a long season. You got to have some patience. You can't hold on forever. You can't be taking the abuse over and over and just hanging on forever. But for right now, hold on to those guys, man. You did the work. Stay the course. I promise it'll pay off.
Yes. We're not going to really, there's not enough time to recap Tuesday. Like, so much has happened since Tuesday, but I'll just rapid fire through some of our thoughts here quickly, because you had a couple good calls. We are on the Sharks and the under. We got that one. Vancouver, we didn't get. All of a sudden, two mediocre games on the road against, weak teams. But here we are. The Sabres are 3-0 to start their season. We're both on the Panthers. We got that at plus 135 against the Lightning. And, I mean, the Stanley Cup odds, they've gone from 24-1 to 17-1. Now's the time to get in on Florida. We had the under in Dallas and Pittsburgh. We had the Islanders over Chicago. The Jets and Minnesota, man, that was a wild game. We didn't touch it, but 11 goals in that game. Our guy, Joel Eriksson Ek, had a hattie. We didn't get LA. Your Preds came back in the third period, and we got burned at the end. We had the Oilers on the puck line, and we had a Ducks goal with like 20 seconds left to screw us over. But that's why puck line bets are super risky with the empty nets. Either way, you can get burned on either side of it. Okay, so let's turn the page and let's talk today. 10 games on the ice. Let's start here with the Carolina Hurricanes and the Montreal Canadiens. Of course, a lot surrounding, a big storyline, I suppose, heading into this game with Jesperi Kotkaniemi making his return to the Bell Center tonight. There's going to be boos, of course. It's not a disrespect thing. It's just what happens in Montreal. They boo players. If you're not with them, you're against them. They boo players that leave. They boo really good players on the other side. It's kind of a respect factor, I do believe. You and I have both been inside the Bell Center before. It's an electric atmosphere. We were there together at one point watching the Canadiens and your Preds. But I made this bet yesterday afternoon. And you know what? I told everybody at FTN, our subscribers in our Discord channel, that I thought, by puck drop, this would get up to minus 130, minus 140. It hasn't moved at all. I got it at minus 120 over at DraftKings. It's still minus 120. I don't know if you feel like maybe, Montreal has definitely shuffled their lines up a little bit, looking for some offense. They're 0-4. It's their worst start since 1995. They've scored 3 goals. They have, they're 0-11 or 13 on the power play. It's the dead worst power play. They're 29th in penalty kill. They're not getting any offense. They're really struggling, Eric. I don't know if you feel like this is an opportunity to jump on them at home at plus money, or you just continue to, maybe pick against them. What do you think for this game?
I mean, the gambler in me, it's not a strong part of me. I'm not a risky gambler, but I am a diehard hockey watcher and hockey fan. And look, the reality is the laws of averages is a team in the NHL is going to win a game. Montreal at home is as good a bet as any. And those kind of odds, it does make it tempting. Look, I love the Hurricanes. I love that team. But I don't think Montreal's as bad as they showed. I don't think they're a good team, but they're definitely not this bad. They had a pretty deep run in the playoffs last year. Suzuki is going to have to get his feet. He's got a lot more responsibility this year. But I think I might take the risk here and go for it. But, at home, the pressure's on. They know what the media is talking about in Canada. They're all psychos. They're ready to fire everybody and get rid of every player. So this could be an interesting yet risky bet.
The interesting thing about Montreal so far is, you and I are not surprised with the start. I don't think. We've talked about it before. We said to take the under on the team total. Listen, I hear a lot of people saying that the run last year was fluky and this is the real Canadians, and that's fair. That's fine. I understand that. The run last year was definitely unexpected. They wrote a hot goalie, and then they played with confidence towards, the middle parts of the rounds against the Jets and against Vegas. But this is a very different Montreal team. They're without a lot of leaders. Carey Price and Shea Weber. Joel Edmondson is away from the team right now, dealing with a family matter. You lose Philip Deneau, who's one of the best two-way centers in the league, certainly one of the better defenders in the league, but defensive centers, a big reason why they made it as far as they did last season. So you're missing a lot of key players on that squad. And I was afraid that the Canadians, if they started slow, all of a sudden, where's that leadership in the room? They start feeling down on themselves, and that's what we're seeing. But for me, mostly, my biggest takeaway from the Canadians is that the effort hasn't been there. And it's really odd to see a GM of a hockey team 1 week into the season feel like he needed to address the media. And that's what we saw yesterday from Mark Bergevin. He felt like he needed to address the media yesterday to talk about Price and Weber. But really, his point was that he feels like they have the pieces in the room to at least be successful. He's not going to make a move just for making a move, but also at the same time, they need to see a better effort from some of their players. Yes, Suzuki. Yeah, Caulfield. Gallagher is going to give it all the time. But they need to see a stronger effort if they want to get going. And I think, honestly, narratives and revenge spots are funny to talk about. And, there's not a lot of data to back it up that it's, that Kotkaniemi is going to be able to come in here and have a big game. I'm looking on the prop shop for an anytime goal. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to sprinkle something. They got him on that top line. They're going to give him all the opportunity here tonight to have, a good game. They have an all-finished line in Carolina here tonight with Thibaut Teravainen, Sebastian Aho, and Kotkaniemi. I think we'll see a better effort from the Canadians. Eric, I don't know if it's like, oh, well, Kotkaniemi's on the other side. That's enough reason for them to maybe step up. It shouldn't be. They're in the NHL, and they should be bringing it every single day, but I haven't seen the effort from them. I like Carolina. Until the Habs show me something offensively, they're not playing with a lot of confidence. I like this Hurricanes team. I think they're better. I like what you're saying. There's an opportunity maybe to jump on Montreal at plus money, but I like Carolina at minus 120, and I like Andrei Svechnikov at 2.5 shots. He's had 11 shots here through 2 games, so I'm going to lean that way. From a DFS standpoint, is there anything that you like? Sveshnikov's pretty cheap. He's like 5-something on DK.
Yeah, like you were saying with Kotkaniemi, NHL coaches, NHL owners, NHL teams love narrative. I think it's part of the reason why I love this sport. They're going to do everything in their power within reason to get him on the ice in a position to score. They paid him a bunch of money, and they want to prove that they're right. I think they paid him too much money, but they do want to prove that they're right. They do want to prove that he's a good player. And if there's a prop out there of him, anytime goal or first goal or something like that, if that pops up, I'm going to probably jump on it today.
So Frederick Anderson is 7-8 on DraftKings. He's affordable on FanDuel as well. He is, like I said, 3 goals through 4 games here. The Canadians, I'm sure they'll have a better effort, but overall, I like Frederick Anderson, and I like Svechnikov, but you can certainly get involved with that top line if you wanted to. Aho is 6-1, is affordable. Teravainen 6-3, and then Kotkaniemi is 3-4. In terms of 5-on-5 ice time, he is like near the bottom on his squad, and I expect him to be near the bottom anyways, but in an opportunity like tonight in Montreal, he's going to have a little bit of a giddy up in his step, and they're going to give him an opportunity here to succeed against his former squad. So that's really it for me. Carolina, I kind of lean to the under as well, just because of the struggles that Montreal has on offense, but they're giving up a whole lot defensively too. They're missing a lot of people, man, from last year. It's not the same team. Let's move on to San Jose and Ottawa. We got the return of Brady Tkachuk here tonight, and the Sharks are 2-0, and they really, they just cruised the other night against the Canadians. They're minus 104 on the money line. You have Ottawa at minus 105, so it's basically a pick 'em, and we have a total here at 6. You can get 6.5 if you want. I actually think we'll see some goals, and you know what? Honestly, we kind of undersold the Sharks, even though we were on them against the Habs as an upset, and we were on the under. We just loosely brought up their first line, and Timo Meier, Jonathan Dahlen, and Logan Couture. We had Timo Meier's shot prop on the show last week. He has 15 shots on goal through 2 games to start the season. He has 4 points and a goal. I like this line again, and I don't think Dahlen's gonna surprise a lot of people here tonight. Oh man, I really wish I pushed him a little bit more last week, because people are now aware of him because he hit the score sheet twice, but he's 3-2 on DraftKings. I think he's definitely in play. I like Timo Meier again to shoot the puck. Brady Tkachuk is probably going to be in for, I wonder, is he going to show up tonight just with the C on his sweater? Is he just going to come out like hockey? Let's see some hockey theater here tonight. He could just pop out under the tunnel. Oh, Tkachuk is signed long-term. Guess what? He's the captain of, the future captain of this squad. What do you think about this game?
I believe he's the captain, but I believe he'll have the A tonight. I think Ottawa is going to perform tonight. Tkachuk is the heartbeat of this team, just like his brother is the heartbeat of the Flames. He's just a player that other players gravitate to. He hits. He plays hard. He's involved in every play. He's on the ice for all the important minutes. He shoots the puck like a psycho. The Tkachuk brothers are amazing hockey players. Ottawa, I'm all over Ottawa tonight.
You like Ottawa? I kind of like the Sharks. I'm a little torn, but yeah, they're going to be amped with Brady Tkachuk in there. It's a nice boost to the team. I'm not seeing Timo Meier just yet on shot props, but I figure he's going to be around 2.5. I think he, books may be onto him a little bit. He is a volume shooter. We liked him a couple years ago, Eric, when we were doing another show together, and he had a bit of a down year. And last year was also a down year, but he's a volume shooter. He's playing with a great center like Logan Couture, and I really like that Dolan kid too, Jonathan. So I'm going to be in on that line. Do you like the total at 6.5? Do you think there's going to be a lot of goals here? We're not going to see your boy Hill, Aiden Hill.
Yep.
Credit to you, dude. You called that last week. He had a shutout.
Yep.
Didn't get a lot of shots. He's not going tonight with the Sharks playing tomorrow in Toronto. It's James Reimer and Matt Murray. I think we could see some offense on both sides.
Yeah. I do like the over there because of the goaltending. And like I said, I think San Jose is playing inspired hockey, and which is cool to see. There's some guys we like their Couture, Meier. You just talked about. We've been talking about his breakout for 2 or 3 years now, and it looks like we're finally starting to get it. Carlson is a guy that I kind of built my DFS lineup against the other night, which was a very good move by me. It's cool seeing him get on the score sheet. But you know me, man. I love this Senators team. They're young. They're talented. Stützle does something every night and just kind of blows your mind. Tkachuk is going to be back, and they're going to be inspired. And Matt Murray, I think this is his first game of the year. He's got something to prove. So I feel like I would probably go the over there, but I'm going Ottawa to win this one.
Okay, so we're on different sides. San Jose is not going to be one of my favorite bets. In fact, I think I just like the over a little bit more. We'll recap everything towards the end of the show, but I do like this game from a DFS standpoint. There's a lot of value before we move on here. I mentioned Dolan is 3-2. Timo Meier is a little bit expensive at 6'9", but these Ottawa guys too. Tkachuk is 6'6", Batherson's 4'7", Josh Norris. I like that top line. He's 5'1". So if there's two lines here to attack, it's those ones. And we also got the return here of Erik Karlsson. Man, he definitely looks like a guy who's lost that first step. He looks a little slow, but at 4'8", he's an interesting guy to target. All right, let's continue on here. Let's go. This is a good one. Is it a future Stanley Cup final? Oh, baby. Colorado and Florida. We got a total here of 6.5. Vegas expecting offense. You can get the Avs at +100 over at FanDuel on the road, and you can get the Panthers at -110 using our free prop shop and parlay calculator to get the best possible odds. Man, take it away. I feel like this is your squad and my squad going head to head here today, but I know how much you like the Panthers as well.
I like them both. I've loved Colorado for a long time. Like I said the other day, Makar is maybe my favorite player to watch in all of the NHL. Rantanen's unbelievable. McKinnon's unbelievable. But the Florida Panthers really have something happening there. The fact that I could get Montreal to win this game at plus, looks like DraftKings has it at +100. I'm pretty interested in that. The over at 6.5. I think I'd probably go under. But this is a game. I just want to watch it. And the reality is I'm going to be flying to Las Vegas for a pay-per-view and TV tapings tonight. So I'm going to miss it, man. There's so many good games tonight. And this will be the first night of the season that I won't be screwed to my couch to watch all the games. But I will definitely be checking my phone and be paying attention to this one.
Hey, listen, man, Vegas, it's all right. You'll have a pretty good time there, I think. Tonight.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
Yeah, it'll be all right. Man, the Panthers are just looking at some of their 5-on-5 numbers, Eric. They are just generating so much offense. Yeah. I know Tampa's depleted, but that game really wasn't all that close. I know the Bolts tied it up early in the third, but I thought, for the most part, Florida was just really driving a ton of offense. So here we are through, only a handful of games. I'm just looking at shout out here to naturalstattrick.com. And just shot attempts at 5-on-5. Florida, nearly 70 shot attempts at 5-on-5 so far. It's probably an unsustainable number, but they are really controlling the pace of play. And Colorado has missed, some guys. I know Nate McKinnon played earlier in the week against Washington, and Gabriel Landeskog is back here. But Darcy Kemper didn't look all that great the other night. And the Avs are allowing a lot of rubber, which they didn't do last season. They're inside the top 10 in terms of shot attempts allowed at 5-on-5 per 60 minutes. And surprisingly, Vegas up at the top there as well. Last night they lost and they're missing some dudes. So what do you think about the total? 6.5 goals?
Man, I don't. That's a lot of goals. I mean, like I think these are two very good teams with tons of good players. There'll be tons of chances and stuff. But man, I don't know. That's I mean too high for me. Too high for me. I would go under.
We didn't get Sam Bennett the other day at 2.5 shots. He hit the bar twice. We got burned with that. Trying to explain people to FTN that, you hit the post, it's not a shot on goal. Non-hockey people don't understand that. And you know what? I kind of agree with them. Like, it's part of the net. It should be a shot. Nonetheless, I like him. And Nate McKinnon, I'm going to like at 3.5 as well. So we'll recap towards the end of the show, but that's kind of what I'm feeling here. Let's continue on. We got 10 games, and we only got 15, 17 minutes here left in the show. Washington and New Jersey, -115 for the Caps, +114 for the Devils. I was trying to dig up to see if Jack Hughes was going to play in this game. He left pretty early last time out. He did hit the score sheet. He's considered day-to-day right now, so unsure if he's going to play in this game. Well, I'll let you take it away. Do you like anything from this contest?
It's two strange teams, two teams that could be interesting going forward. There's some young players and stuff, maybe some interesting DFS stuff. Dougie Hamilton looks possessed. He looks really good on this New Jersey team. I think Jack Hughes is still hurt. That's a bit of a bummer. Started off the season pretty hot. So other than that, I don't know. I could go either way there.
I'm going to lean with Washington. I think this is like a pretty good opportunity just to take them with these odds. I do like the Devils squad. I like their young kids, and I think they are on the rise. If they can get Mackenzie Blackwood in the net, nothing against Jonathan Bernier, but if they can get Mackenzie Blackwood in the net 60% of the time, they may indeed push for a playoff spot. But, an opportunity to get the Capitals at -115, I think is a pretty good spot. I like Ovechkin to have 3.5 shots too. He's been he's not showing any signs of old age or rust. We'll say that he's
what a player, man,
to look like an absolute beast. And Evgeny Kuznetsov is off to a pretty good start as well, centering that top line, just getting more ice time with Nicholas Backstrom sidelined. Okay, so Washington in there from a DFS standpoint, I probably will stay away. I'm not totally into it, but Ovechkin's always in play. On a big slate like this, you could take him as a one-off. You don't need to take Kuznetsov in there, but Ovi for sure. And, tough go if Hughes can't play here tonight. The Islanders and the Blue Jackets. The Islanders bounce back in their last game against the Blackhawks, and, the Blackhawks will do that. I think they'll bring out the best in a lot of teams this season. New York and Columbus here. Columbus at +132 and -139 for the Islanders. And the total here is at 5.5. I kind of have a lean to the under, but I do like the Islanders. This is a bet I put in last night. I put in 3 bets yesterday. Just wanted to get it in there right away. It was Florida, Carolina, and the Islanders. I'm in on the Islanders here to bounce back. I have been impressed with Patrick Laine and Jacob Voracek. It looks like there's something going on with those two. They have some chemistry there. And on the other side, Kyle Palmieri has hit his shot prop in each of his past couple games, and he's pretty cheap on that top line. He is 3.8. Like, that's a value. He has 4 shots, 3 shots, and 3 shots. He only has 2 points, but, he's playing on the top line. He's playing on the top power play, and I'm pretty interested in him from a DFS standpoint as well. What do you have to add for this game?
Yeah, I like that. I like the Palmieri line. Like he might be one of the most underrated offensive players of all time. Like nobody ever talks about him. He just gets it done. What was getting it done on abysmal New Jersey Devils teams. Now he's playing over there. Like you said, he's playing on the power play. Shoots the puck a ton. He's a really, really, really good player. And the marriage of Voracek and Laine. This is something that we've wanted to see for Laine forever. A guy that can distribute the puck. A guy that will dig pucks and protect the puck and get him the puck in a good shooting spot. That's going to be a match made in heaven. I'm really interested in this Columbus team, man. I mean, I don't know. There's something going on there. Tortorella out. They just seem inspired, and we see this happen with Tortorella. He kind of like, the iron fist and, puts his thumb over all the players and whatever. And now there's freedom, and you can see it in the way that they're playing. And you can see it in the way that the players are producing. So Columbus is interesting to me, and I think I might lean Columbus to win tonight.
Oh, baby. You know what? The Islanders, surprisingly, looking at some of the numbers, 70 shot attempts per 60 minutes at 5-5. That's one of the highest marks in the league. Like it's weird to see them up there in terms of giving up quality chances and scoring chances. But here we are. I know part of it, they played Carolina and Florida. Those are two teams that they're really strong 5-5 teams. But Sorokin has faced a lot of rubber so far. 40 shots in his first game, 29 against the Panthers. He got lit up. He had -1 fantasy point. And then his last time out against the Blackhawks, 40 shots against as well. He made 39 of 40 saves. He had 32 fantasy points over at DraftKings. He's super expensive at 8.3. I don't like to spend all the way up at the top at the goalie position. But, you know, it's a trend that I think you should keep an eye on. If this Islanders team is going to give up a lot of rubber, we'll see if they can clean it up, because it's very unlike, you know, the Islanders and Barry Trotz to give up this. These scoring chances are legit. Like
it won't continue. It will not continue.
I don't think so either. Okay, one more guy to talk about as a value play is Boone Jenner at 3.6. He is centering Voracek and Line. He's got 2 goals through 3 games. He's got 7 shots on goal as well. He played 25 minutes against the Red Wings in his last game, so he plays in all situations. A guy that's going to play 20 minutes at 3.6 is extremely valuable. Even you don't need to stack him. Maybe just like a little one-up. If you do feel the Islanders, or if you do feel the Blue Jackets, maybe you can go with that entire line there. Calgary and Detroit in here next. Get the Flames at -135. Detroit at +118. And we have a total here of 5.5. I like Matthew Tkachuk. I'll just throw that out there. Matthew Tkachuk's been even money, plus money on some books. I'm actually not seeing it right now. Again, shot props. Books are slow, man, with the shot props here. I heard from one of our FTN subs just yesterday that finally BetMGM has some shot props up, so that's good. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Oh, I see DK is up now. Plus money, plus 100 for Matthew Tkachuk to have 2.5 shots. Guys, he's just like Brady. He really is. He doesn't shoot as much, and he doesn't throw his body around as much. But I think he's a better goal scorer, and it's not a slight on Brady. I think he's slightly better in terms of putting the puck in the net. Through 2 games, he has 14 shots on goal, Eric. So you know I'm taking the over 2.5 here.
Yeah, lock that one in big time. Get it when you can.
Anything else you like from this game? Everything else is like, man, I don't think we'll see a lot of offense.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely the matchup itself is interesting. It's Steve Yzerman and his magic Titan wooden wand waving it over the Detroit Red Wings. I knew this was going to happen. They're turning into a good team. Tyler Bertuzzi is having just an absolutely insane start to the season. That won't continue, but I think Tyler Bertuzzi is a good player. I think Dylan Larkin is a really good player. I think Fabry is a good player. Fabry is a guy that you could probably find pretty low for your DFS lineups. And I don't know. I don't think they've said it yet. But now Nedeljkovic for Detroit is a good starting goalie.
Yeah, he is a good goalie. I just don't think we'll see a lot of offense here. Calgary kind of plays that style. You know, they don't give up a ton. Detroit doesn't have a lot of offense really. So I was looking at Markstrom here. He's 8-1. It's a little too expensive for me. You know, moving forward, we will talk about this Wings team. I mean, Lucas Raymond is playing on that top line with Larkin and Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi is off to a really good start, but keep in mind he's not going to play any games in Canada until he gets that shot or those 2 shots. And Detroit does have a game in Montreal this weekend, so it's just something to keep an eye for streaming this guy. I know the Wings play 4 games this week. All right, your Preds at home. A nice comeback win in the third period against the Los Angeles Kings last week, or on Tuesday rather. So now we have the Rangers and the Predators. So a 5.5 total. I kind of have a lean to the under. Shesterkin's been phenomenal in each of his last 2 games against the Habs and against the Leafs. You got the Rangers here at -102 and the Preds at -14. Take it away, sir. Your Preds. What do you got?
Yeah, they definitely look better against Los Angeles. They got down, but they battled back. It's an interesting team. Like their Tolivin, I think, is going to be the key to this power play. He's playing at the top, and basically everything is funneling through him and funneling through his shot. Forsberg is off to a good start. We talked about that. This is a contract year for him. Do not let that confuse you. You mean players want to make money. You mean like this is the year that he has to have his best statistical year to get paid. And he knows that. His agent knows that. His wife knows that. You know, everyone knows that. And I believe that this will be his best statistical year to date. They're going to rely on him. He's going to be on the ice a ton. they've got him in a little bit of a different position on the half wall, and I like him there because he's so tricky with the puck and Tollivan the shooter. I think that the power play will be much improved. I like the Preds here to win at home, and but I think with the goaltending, I think I probably take the under.
Yeah, I like the under quite a bit. Shesterkin's good. We like UC Saros. He's a strong goalie.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm seeing 7-7, not a bad price for Shesterkin. He's, like I said, he's been rock solid. He's got a .949 save percentage, a 1.62 goals against average. He's 2-0-1. I just really like him overall as a goalie, and I'm not sold on the Rangers defense. Like, they give up a lot too. So he's definitely in my player pool. From a shot prop standpoint, I think I'll just stay away. You know, you may be able to get Mizabinaj at 2.5. We had him the other day. Most books have him at 3.5. And, you know, sometimes it's juiced to the over. Yeah, like minus 175 over 2.5. I'm not going to get involved with that. And plus 130 at 3.5 is a little too rich for my liking. We'll continue to move on here. We got a couple games before we wrap up. Anaheim and Winnipeg. The Jets are winless as well. They've really struggled. And the Ducks have been surprising. They're winning games. They're hanging around. They're plus 170. And Winnipeg is minus 190. Honestly, I'm probably going to stay away. I do think the Jets win this game. A long road trip, though, to start the season. Not super long, but out west. And then to wrap up with Minnesota and then to come back home is sometimes tough for a team. But mostly, midway through the season, when you see those lengthy road trips, that first game at home, sometimes teams are pretty flat. I just don't think I can lay the money down on minus 190 for Winnipeg, but I do like the usual suspects, Kyle Connor and Nikolai Ehlers. I like those guys. Do you have anything? Do you have a feel here, or maybe the Ducks on an upset here?
Yeah, I don't. It's hard. Yeah, they did, but I think that was mostly Gibson. I think, for your DFS lineups, Zegras is an interesting player. He's centering that top line. Really good offensive player. It looks like they're going to trust him in most places. That's a guy that is exciting. I mean, if you can get him in season long, he might be available. That's a guy that's going to play a ton this year. They're going to rely on. But I don't have a feel other than that. I think the Winnipeg Jets probably bounce back at home here. It's hard for me to bet against Connor Hellebuck. But at the same time, I mean, look, Gibson broke their heart earlier. And Anaheim they're kind of feeling themselves. It's a very interesting start to the year. But I'm staying away from this one because I just don't know what to think.
Yeah, Ehlers and Connor will probably both be juiced up, but if you can get him into a parlay at 2.5, I do like those guys. Yeah, Gibson's always going to be playing DFS because he's going to be super cheap. He's going to face a lot of rubber, and he's really good. Like, he can break the slate. He can return value. He's already done that twice. He's stolen 2 games for Anaheim. Connor Hellebuck is just way too expensive. He's 8.5. Like, there's no reason to get involved with Connor Hellebuck. And you know what? Honestly, he hasn't been good to start the season. He's allowed 14 goals in his first 3 games. So, I mean, definitely don't play Connor Hellebuck at that price point. And maybe punt at the position with John Gibson. But I do like those 2 Jet snipers to shoot the puck and maybe find the back of the net. Vancouver and Chicago in here next. 2 more games. Canucks and Blackhawks. I don't really have a feel for this game, Eric. I think we could see some offense. I just can't get behind the Canucks, even at plus 120 against a bad Chicago team. Vancouver, man, they're just a team that I just don't want to put my money on. And Chicago, the same sort of deal. Like, I like some of their players. Fleury's had a shaky start to the season, but I'm not going to put my money on either of these teams right now.
Yeah, Vancouver just got Brock Besser back. I think he played his first game. Was it last night or the night before? So he's starting to get get a feel. I think I'm going to lean Vancouver here. I like it at DraftKings has it as plus 115. So I'm going to go with a bet for them to win here, and I would go the under on the 6.
Yeah, you know what? I like it, right? I've been on the Canucks twice. They've just disappointed me on the road against weak teams. But you're right. Brock Besser's on that top line. Nils Höglander is fairly cheap.
He's a player. Keep an eye on Höglander.
He's fairly cheap, too, from a DFS standpoint if you want. He's 4K. Like, honestly, Chicago's going to give up some quality chances here today. That's just a team that gives up a lot of rubber. So Vancouver could be sneaky from a DFS tournament standpoint. And then the final game here, massive favorites, the Edmonton Oilers in Arizona to take on this team that they call the Coyotes. I'm taking the puck line here. I know we got burned the other day from the Oilers, but I can't take them on the money line. They're minus 182. I suppose if you wanted to get them in there in like a 5-4 leg parlay, you could get involved that way. But plus 135 to win by a couple goals here. we don't need to crap on Arizona all year, but this is just not a good hockey team, Eric. They're
They're
brutal,
bad.
man. They played 2 games and they've
Bad.
allowed what? Have they allowed 15 goals in their 2 games? I think they have. So
I mean, it's a mess, man. I mean, there's still players there for DFS. Clayton Keller is off to a pretty good start. Offensive production wise, they're still going to score, guys. Like, I mean, I'm not saying bet money on Arizona to win or bet money on Arizona, but DFS lineups season long, there's still going to be players that are going to play a ton. They're still going to score. But other than that, stay away from Arizona. They are a nuclear mess.
yeah, they've actually played 3 games. They've lost them all 3, 8-2, 2-1, and 7-4. So 15, 16, 17 goals allowed in the 3 games. And, you know, the game that they allowed 2 was to the Buffalo Sabres. So let's recap here. I'll start, and then you get your picks and thoughts together to get out of here. So for me, from a straight-up betting standpoint, I do like the Hurricanes. I like the Islanders. I like the Oilers to win by 2 goals here today. I might get crazy. I may get crazy and put like 0.25 units or 0.5 a unit on like a 3-point night for McDavid or Draisaitl. I think those guys are definitely in play, or like a goal from Jesse Puljujarvi. You know, even to have 2 points, those guys are going to be juiced to the, you know, to the under is going to be like minus probably 140 to have 2 points. I'm not going to get involved in that. Juice to the over rather to have those 2 guys to hit the score sheet twice. But I may get a little nuts here with 10 games in the slate. But Florida, Carolina, the Islanders, the Oilers to win by 2. From a shot prop standpoint, actually, I'll throw Washington in there. I like the Capitals as well. From a shot prop standpoint, I like Andrei Svechnikov, Carolina Hurricanes, 2.5 shots. I like Timo Meier, 2.5 shots for the Sharks. On the other side of that game, I like Brady Tkachuk, 3.5 shots for the Ottawa Senators. I like Nathan McKinnon, 3.5 shots for Colorado. I am going to get involved again with Sam Bennett at 2.5 shots. He has cleared 2.5 in 12 of his past 16 games, and we almost got it. He had a couple bars there the other day. Ovechkin, 3.5. Matthew Tkachuk may honestly be my favorite on the board at 2.5 at plus money. Kyle Palmieri's plus money at 2.5 shots, and then Kyle Connor and Nikolai Ehlers at 2.5 shots. We got a lot in our FTN bet tracker. Try to simplify things for you and not make it as confusing with all of these picks. Hopefully we did a good job of that at the end. Eric, what do you have on your card here tonight?
Yeah, I got just kind of like out to win. I got Vancouver, Nashville, and Colorado. Those are the teams I like to win straight up tonight. I love the Bennett. I mean, until he proves us wrong, I'm just going to keep doing it. If they're going to keep him at 2.5, he shoots the puck, he plays a ton. And I think it's just like he's one of those players that hasn't been talked about and hasn't been rated. He's a really good player playing on a really good team now. And until Vegas catches up and figures it out, just keep hammering that bet.
Agree. You could play the Oilers. It's okay in a single entry. I played them. The top line, they were owned, but they were just so good, right? They scored so many points against Anaheim. You can play them and then get different elsewhere with your lineups. And maybe attack that second line with Nugent Hopkins and Zach Hyman. But Jesse Puljujarvi is a value still. You know, get involved with Edmonton and then just get different elsewhere with your lineups. Maybe it is the Canucks to get unique. But I do like Carolina today as a stack. And I like that San Jose and Ottawa. I like Ottawa's first line and then the Sharks' first line too. I think we see some offense in that game. Any questions, hit us up. Please rate, review, subscribe, show us those screenshots, and we will get you into a draw, and we'll give away some betting packages on Tuesday's show. The article will be live. A waiver wire article will be live at ftnfantasy.com. Use that promo code NHL, 20% discount. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Leave a question there, and I'll circle back before puck drop tonight. From Eric Young, myself, Chris Meaney, thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend. Cheers.